The largest microchip maker in the U.S. tells ABC News it's investigating what it calls a cyber incident. The company has not attributed the incident to anyone just yet, but the federal government is warning all American companies to shore up their systems amid the Russia-Ukraine conflict. ABC News contributor and former Homeland Security and Counterterrorism advisor Tom Bossert is here with more on that. Tom, thanks so much for being here. How grave is the threat the United States is facing right now in terms of a cyber attack?
Diane, it's not only a grave threat, but it's an unpredictable one. And so what we'd like to do is communicate to the world that cyber weapons, cyber tools used as weapons, are governed by the same rules that would prohibit or govern the use of a missile, right? Some normal use or tool of war is governed by a set of rules. We call it international law of war. One of the most important elements there is that any tool be used. Now remember, this is an illegal, unlawful war, but get past that for a moment because we've seen that Putin doesn't care. Get to the second stage of analysis and think about whether he might start using a cyber weapon in a way that doesn't follow those rules. In other words, not proportional, not discriminate, not focused on Ukraine, but rather something that might spill over by design or by accident into the companies around the world. We saw him do it in 2017, and it caused $10 billion worth of losses in American and European companies. And that was during a stage in which he wasn't in a kinetic war. So we could see a kind of catastrophic set of attacks that would affect indiscriminately companies around the globe.
So what would a cyber attack on the U.S. look like?
As I said, it might not be clear, and it might not have a specific desired outcome. So one of the things we saw against the pipeline, the Colonial Pipeline attack this past summer, was a pretty specific ransomware targeted attack, and it brought down the operations of that pipeline for some time. But what we saw in 2017 was an attack designed to take advantage of a Microsoft vulnerability that could essentially stop anyone from using the computers that were infected. It rendered them useless. Well, that's the kind of thing that then indiscriminately shuts down any unpatched Microsoft computer or computer using Microsoft software. Think of how indiscriminately disruptive that could be. So it might not just be an attack on the United States or a specific target, but rather an indiscriminate attack that brings down computers around the globe.
So what defenses are available for not just the U.S., but for Ukraine and any other areas that are vulnerable to these kinds of cyber attacks?
The entire cyber community is really on high alert right now. All the people in my company, a cybersecurity company, and all of our partners, even those who we would normally compete with, are all collaborating right now to share as much information as we can, technical information, with every customer or user that wants it. And we're trying to make sure we identify the things that are being used by the Russians quickly so that people can patch against them, and then share tactics and techniques and things that they can do to shore up against those tactics and techniques as quickly as possible. It's not going to be easy, and there's a lot of human manual labor involved. We're also trying to introduce a lot of automated controls. There's a bunch of tech advancements in that field. Unfortunately, they're not all here or all adopted uniformly in time for something that could happen tomorrow or the next day. So, as I've said before, the U.S. as a whole is not ready for mass, wide-scale, indiscriminate cyber attacks. It would be very disruptive, and it could cause not only loss of money, but disruption to business operations that we could all feel.
All right, Tom Bossert, great to have your analysis. Tom, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.